Let's say that we have a point charge at the origin. Let this be a positive charge and its magnitude be q. Then we know that this charge will set up an electric field in the space around it, and that we can represent that electric field with the help of electric field vector, which is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, the magnitude of the charge, which is q, divided by r square, r cap. Now we want to find the curl of the electric field, but first we will calculate the line integral of electric fields, that is E dot dl from some point A to some other point B. Let's say we have our axis, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, and this is a point A, and let's say we have point B over here, and let RB be the distance of the point B from the origin, and RA be the distance of point A from the origin, and we go along some path like this. This is what we mean by the line integral of the electric field from point A to point B. We will make use of spherical polar coordinates, and a line element in spherical polar coordinates can be written as dr r cap plus r d theta theta cap plus r sin theta d phi cap. And we know that electric field depends on r cap. We also know that r cap dot theta cap will be 0 and r cap dot phi cap will also be equal to 0. So E dot dl will be equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r square dr, since r cap dot r cap is equal to 1. Therefore, we will have integral a to b 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r square dr. We can take the magnitude of the charge q outside since it is a constant, and also 4 pi epsilon naught. So we'll be left with integral a to b 1 divided by r square dr, and which will be equal to q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught minus 1 divided by r b a. We will get q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught minus 1 divided by rb minus 1 divided by ra, which we can write as q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 divided by ra minus 1 divided by rb. And this is a line integral of electric field from point A to point B. We see that this line integral depends only on the points. That is, it depends only on the endpoints. Therefore, if we take a closed loop, that is, if we have point A here and point B here, if we go from point A to point B and B to A, that is, we have now completed one loop, then we go from A and come back to A, E dot dl. Another way to write the same thing will be equal to closed. We put a closed circle over here to indicate that it is a closed loop. E dot dl, which will be equal to 0, since over here we will have 1 divided by Ra minus 1 divided by Ra, which is 0. So the whole equation will be 0. Therefore, we see that the closed line integral of electric field is equal to 0. Now from Stokes' theorem or Stokes' law, we have that the surface integral of curl of any vector field will be equal to closed line integral of that field, and the vector field in our case will be the electric field. Therefore, we know since the closed line integral is equal to 0, therefore this integral will also be equal to 0, and we know that when an integral is equal to 0, then its integrand must also be equal to 0. Therefore, we have del cross E is equal to 0, which is nothing but the curl of the electric field. Therefore, we can say that the curl of electric field is equal to 0. One last thing. Now that we know that the curl of electric field is equal to 0, the curl of any vector field being equal to 0 implies that its line integral is independent of the path, and we can prove that very easily. Let's take a closed loop. Let's say this is a point A and this is a point P. Let's call this as C and this as D. Therefore, we know that the closed integral, or another way to write it would be A to C to B to D and back to A of E dot dl will be equal to 0. That is what it means for the curl of electric field to be 0. We can break this integral into two parts. We can go from A to B via C, and we can go from B to A via D. Therefore, we can write A CB E dot dl plus B dA E dot dl is equal to 0. Now we can take this integral over to the other side. Therefore, we would have integral A CB E dot dl is equal to minus of integral B dA E dot dl. Now we know that if we have A to B of some integral, then it will be equal to minus of B to A of the same integrand. That is, changing the limit puts a minus sign in the front. Therefore, we will have integral A CB E dot dl is equal to, we will reverse the order, so it will be A D B E dot dl. Therefore, we see that the line integral of the electric field as we go from A to B via C, and the line integral of the electric field as we go from A to B via D are same. That is, it does not matter which path we take. We could go from A to B via D or A to B via C. It will not matter. The line integral of electric field is independent of the path.